3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Well, hold on a minute. State of clue that you. Well, since I'm kind of on that whole, somewhat of the whole Christian thing, I just thought, why not I review the 16 best Christian albums of all time? And don't worry, folks, Chris Tomlin did not make a list.
Yay!
He's a dishonorable mention. He's like the Alamo of Christian music, or the Simpsons of Christian music, in my opinion. But yeah, there are good Christian albums out there. So let's go with the.
You got about a minute for each one too, so
okay, so
make sure you're quick.
All right, for number 16, it is. I'm going with the All-Star United's debut album.
All-Star United?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and who is that? That's...
All-Star United.
Okay, and
they made an album. That was their debut album.
Any memorable songs? Stuff that stands out? Anything anybody would know?
You know, it's a beautiful thing.
Okay, I believe I've heard.
And then that's a hidden song, which I liked, which kind of has like this Shirley Temple, Betty Boop kind of thing. Okay. And it starts like with "Everybody's talking about nutrition. It's the biggest thing." It's like what it's straight is. You have falsetto on there.
Okay.
So that's a good one. I'm number 15. I'm gonna go with "What a Day" by Phil Keaggy.
Is that one of his ones from the 70s?
Yes.
Phil Keaggy, he's been called one of the greatest guitarists of all time by like some of the other greatest guitarists of all time, like Jimi Hendrix. Stuff like that.
And even Paul McCartney worked with him with Motor of Love. The thing is, that's why I kind of liked "What a Day" because it kind of has that. He's trying to imitate the whole McCartney thing.
Not imitate, but he was a heavy influence on his on his stuff. Yeah.
Number 14. I'm gonna go with the soundtrack to the original cast of Jesus Christ Superstar by Tim Rice.
That's
and Andrew Lloyd Webber.
That's Christian.
Well, it talks about Jesus.
Okay. Well, other people talk about Jesus too, and they're not necessarily Christians.
Well, thanks. But,
all right, if it's on your list, I mean, it's your list. So.
Number 13. God's Property by Kirk Franklin. And this was when Christian rock was like even the Wesleyan group of division was really cool about it.
Well, the great stuff about Kirk Franklin too is it was gospel, R&B, hip hop. Like he's got good songs that you would hear on other mainstream radio, right?
That's what was good about Christian rock during the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
It was for everyone. Now it's like I said, that's why I can't stand Chris Tomlin. It's just for this site of people only. It's like,
right.
It's limited.
You don't outreach if you don't reach out.
It's very Wesleyan and comfortable.
Mm-hmm. So
number 12, I'm going to go with Jars of Clay's debut album. That's a great album. It's almost alternative, but
it's very alternative. But it's also some acoustic rock too. And that's not
the
the one with Flood on it, of course. Because
it is the one with Flood on it.
Flood is on the first album.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And again, it's very acoustic, and
all right,
that's what makes it.
But it's acoustic and it rocks.
Yes. Number 11, I'm going to go with Jesus Freak by DC Talk.
Mm-hmm.
The reason why they're called DC Talk because the band was from Washington, D.C.
I always thought the D and C stood for Doing Christian Talk.
No, it was actually...
it's because they're from the District of Columbia.
Yes.
Okay, then.
Number 10, I'm going to go with Let Us Go to the House of the Lord by the Edwin Hawkins Singers.
Mm.
The standout song is Oh Happy Day.
Oh, I know Oh Happy Day.
And that was another top 40 song, too. So that's why it made the list.
Okay.
Number 9, I'm going to go with For He Who Has Ears to Hear by Keith Green.
Keith Green, another really good Christian artist there.
And
former member of Fleetwood Mac, correct?
No, that's Peter Green.
Oh, never mind.
But his song, the Easter song, is a standout song on that.
Okay.
And I also do like So You Want to Go Back to Egypt, because that's a very funny one, as a matter of fact. It's like, Manna again? I hope you're liking this.
And that was a 70s album, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And that's what made so.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good Christian music in the 70s.
So I hope you're liking the top 16 lists, as well as us making this, even though we're trying to get a hard time. But we also have other shows on the Warren Brothers Broadcasting Network. So hit the like button, hit subscribe, and get notified. All right. The 8th album, I'm going to go with the original cast of Godspell.
Interesting. All right, Godspell.
Yeah, because the one song...
You like your musicals.
And actually, that album contains a top 40 song called Day by Day.
Mm-hmm.
And the plot of Godspell, I kind of want to make this film called Jesus 2000, because it'd be Jesus if he lived in today.
Oh, Jesus if he lived in the year 2000.
Yes, and like, if I could, I did Jerry Seinfeld to play the Joel Osteen Evangel, because, So, number 7, I'm going to go with Some Kind of Zombie by Audio Adrenaline.
Real good pick. Audio Adrenaline was a really good band.
Yes, we saw them at Acquire the Fire. That might Acquire the Fire was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I find disappointing with the Wesleyan division.
You can chime in. No, what did you say?
I just said it was never cool.
It was.
It was fun.
The bands were good and it was fun.
Yeah.
But you are correct. There were things about it now in hindsight, because even Paul brought up the Wesleyan, like, the call to the altar thing, and like, borderline. Yeah.
We're more altar color, not altar call.
Sure. All right.
And it's like,
but we're digressing from the thing. You're talking about the album itself. The album had a lot of really good tunes on it. It was very
hard rock,
alternative.
Like one of the songs, and hamburger. There's different kinds of cheeses, bacon, and tomatoes, and we put ice cream on the
No, because now you're just going back to talking about Acquire the Fire. That has nothing to do with the album.
Okay, number 6.
What's number 6?
Third Day's debut album.
All right, that's a really good one. Too. Third Day might be the best band out of all of them. Them and Jars of Clay.
It's
1 and 2 for me.
They had the Take From Me My Life, and there's a good song about Good Friday called Thief, which talks about the guy on the left or right, but
one of the guys who was crucified with Jesus.
In my opinion, it's
from his point of view.
In my opinion, it's the one from the right, because right hand side.
Yes.
Number 5, Songs from the Loft, which is a various artists, had Amy Grant, and that's around the same time when Christian rock was cool.
And that's pretty good album to choose, because it's got a variety of artists on it.
And then number 4, Sacred Journey by First Call. We used to listen to this album.
I remember listening to that one a lot.
Of course. Well, one song that sticks out of my mind is Box of Glory. You thought you heard it in Power Rangers, but for some weird reason, I always think of Supertramp's Take the Long Way Home. Because, it's got that harmonica thing. It's like, and the Fender Rhodes. It's like, Box of Glory, Take the Long Way Home.
I get what you're saying.
Mm-hmm. So, number 3, My Father's Eyes by Amy Grant.
Interesting. Went with an Amy Grant album. Now, around what time? Was this when she was doing some of her crossover stuff?
No, the late 70s.
Late 70s.
And to me, in my opinion, this is the Sgt. Pepper of Christian rock albums out there, because, there's different types of instruments, different types of genres out there.
Right.
Number 2, I'm going to go with a little bit of narcissism. Songs from the City by Psalm 98.
Yeah, that's not narcissism. That's cronyism and nepotism.
Yes,
and it's another reason why we're glad to have our friend Aaron as our guest today, because it was an album that our father, mine and Paul's, and his mother were artists on.
Now, Eric, I have a question.
Aaron,
How
Did you say Eric?
Known each other for.
I literally just heard Eric.
You said Eric. You definitely said Eric.
I heard the C at the end. It's fine.
But
We're gonna watch this later.
But
The 10-minute mark. Right on the dot.
Would your mother object for us to upload some of the songs from the city?
I doubt she would object at all, Paul.
Quite frankly, honestly, we probably have that album too. We could use that as some bumper music and stuff.
We have
what the hell are we thinking?
Mark, what'd you do? Faith heal yourself, or did
I just did face palm sort of thing. That's all. Just smack myself in the head. Like, why don't we actually use some of the music that parents have done as bumper music and stuff instead of whatever crap you pick up from your NDM.
Okay, there's.
You're gonna do your dishonorable mentions now.
Well, my dishonorable mention is.
Although, real quick, go check out Psalm 98's album. You can probably find some clips on YouTube.
And the dishonorable mention, anything by. Darn, I forgot his name.
Is it Chris?
Chris, dishonorable is anything by Chris Tomlin.
Yeah, because I always want to say Mike Tomlin, who's the guy who's a pitcher for the Indians.
Yeah.
And
totally different guy.
I have other ones for honorable ones. The Great Adventure by Stephen Curtis Chapman.
Okay.
Take Me to Your Leader by the Newsboys. 48 Years by Camden's Call.
Camden's Call, real good.
Revival and Lamp by Carmen, who also he too passed on this year. So
okay.
And so basically, there's some good Christian music out there. And but the number one of my favorite Christian album of all time. Sorry, Dad. I know I didn't have Psalm 98, but
it's not like he'll be mad that he wasn't number one. I think it's impressive that you put him on the list in the first place and that they're second.
Oh, another dishonorable mention: the Shield Your Face album.
Oh, that's funny. Another one that Dad was on, though.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough.
Sicky Bomb by Lost and Found.
Yeah, your favorites.
And the thing is, this is another. They did that jangle alternative thing, but they didn't use electric anything.
No, it was literally just a piano and drums.
No, piano and guitar.
Oh, I'm sorry, piano and guitar. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I thought the one guy was the drummer. And that's my.
No, he played bongo sometimes.
That's
those
right.
Those guys are great.
Oh, that's.
And they did a great cover of a Stevie Wonder song. Used to be.
Okay.
And I've heard the original. It's okay, but Lost and Found really did great on that one. So we'll probably do. So here's the teaser for next Thursday's episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be the 16 movies that flopped, but gained a great following. This tin with the two birds as well as is on there. These guys are on there. They made a movie that flopped yet turned to 180, and there's
so movies that flopped, but then had a resurgence when they came out either on television or video or another format years later.
So that will be next week.
Okay.
I'm Paul Mr. Cleveland, living in Cleveland, in the state of Cleveland, in the United States of Cleveland.
Amen.
Amen.
And we are clear.